What is up, everybody? It's your boy Devo here, and this week's review will be Batman Mask of Phantasm, starring Kevin Conroy as Batman, Efren Zimmerlis Jr. as Alfred, Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon, Robert Costanzo as Lieutenant Harvey Bullock, featuring Abe Vigoda as Mobster Celestra, Mark Hamill as Joker, Dana Delaney as Andrea Beaumont, featuring Stacy Keach as the voice of Phantasm. Now I gotta say, excellent story, and I gotta say the quintessential of Batman animated movies. I mean, bar none. Because yeah, especially with the likes of Conroy at the helm, as Batman, that is. I mean, because when it comes to animated Batman, Kevin Conroy just knocked it out of the park. I mean, he's the best animated Batman ever. Like how with Mark Hamill, I'm gonna say best Joker ever. I mean, between animated and live action, he's up there with Nicholson and Ledger. And I gotta give it to Dana Delaney as Andrea Beaumont, aka Phantasm. Excellent voice acting in that, and second best animated work she's done besides being the DC Animated Universe's version of Lois Lane in the Superman animated series. And an excellent storyline of Mask of Phantasm, because you got this new vigilante coming in town who kills, and of course Batman, who don't kill, has to cut out competition, has to and clear his name because he's getting framed for all for the Phantasm murders, which we all know Batman don't kill, and it's just more prevalent in this one. And excellent chemistry between the actors. I mean, not just the characters we all know and love from the Batman animated series, but I gotta say between Bruce and Andrea, because I mean, yeah, you'd think Bruce would have found the one. I mean, I mean, and hopefully one that wasn't a villain kind of deal, because we know how his relationships with Catwoman and Talia al Ghul were, and which in this timeline had some of the best iterations of those characters, but they're not in the movie, but the series. But I'm gonna say the review also counts as the review of the series, until except for Sub-Zero, but that be like for another video, because not only was Conroy the best Batman, but Hamill's the best Joker, and Stacy Keach knocked it out of the park as the voice of Phantasm. But then again, he was always one of them underrated actors. I mean, come on. For the live action versions, he would have made an alternate take casting for Gordon, but for those movies, Hingle knocked it out of the park there. Like Bob Hastings did it in the animated series and Phantasm. Like with Robert Costanzo as Bullock, and I mean, definitely made Bullock a household name. And with and Dana Delaney also as Phantasm, I gotta say, excellent take on a villain slant, or should I just say anti-heroine in her case, because she's killing off bad guys while Batman has the no-kill rule. And for the animated series timeline, excellent take on year one and year two because of the flashbacks to where Batman's in a proto costume. It's just a guy in a mask and all, with knowing martial arts and all, and flashbacks because hell, when it came to animated performances, I gotta say Conroy is one of the ones that, when it comes to Batman live action or animated, is the one that do the most perfect balance between Batman and Bruce Wayne, to where other live action counterparts could balance out, like how Affleck, good Bruce Wayne, terrible Batman. Bale, decent Bruce Wayne, excellent Batman. Keaton, good Batman, so-so Bruce Wayne. Clooney, decent Bruce Wayne, dog shit Batman. And of course, Kilmer. I'd say he did among live action a fair balance. Pattinson, I'm going to save that for another review. But back to Phantasm, because I can say one of the best of the animated adaptations. I mean, just excellent story, animation, oh, superb. I mean, set the standard for all Batman animated adaptations. With his like post-war setting and with modern updates and all, like computers and such. And I mentioned with some of the shell companies that this whole backstory with a story with Andrea Beaumont's father, who was another rich guy in Gotham, who was entailed with a mob, and the first go around of Bruce's Andrea's relationship went rocky because of her dad's mob ties, and how she was forced to leave Gotham and then come back after 10 years, try to patch things up, but couldn't. But after finding out that Bruce was Batman and vice versa, it just wasn't meant to be. And I gotta mention another flashback to the whole World's Fair, where Bruce sees the car that later became the Batmobile prototype. Talking about how badass that looked, and then the fact, flash forward to present day, take on it, to where what used to be World's Fair Arena is now Joker's hideout. And this was regularly early on in the Batman series, long before Harley Quinn came around, or Robin. But I gotta mention some excellent Easter eggs of how, in one scene when Batman's looking up the front companies of the mafia guys that were getting killed off by Phantasm. And I gotta give it to Easter eggs to like O'Neill and Adams, being reference to Denny O'Neill and Neil Adams, who recently passed, R.I.P. and all. And oh, of course, when it comes to Batman movies, you gotta have epic action. I mean, just with the chases, fights, and unlike the series, actually had some death scenes to where Phantasm kills off all the gangsters except for Joker, which and to get or should I say the gangster who later became Joker, which later was acknowledged to be Jack Napier, who was the Nicholson Joker. I mean, just absolutely epic. And I'm just saying Napier just in the series. But overall, I got to give Batman Phantasm a definite 5 out of 5. I mean, the same 5 out of 5 I gave the series because of when it came to perfect castings of Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne / Batman and Mark Hamill as Joker. And I gotta say, third best thing that Dana Delaney's done besides voicing Lois Lane, voicing Andrea Beaumont, and then playing Wyatt Earp's love interest, Josephine Marcus in Tombstone. Overall, I gotta give Batman Phantasm a 5 out of 5. A definite must recommend for anybody who's a fan of the Bat. And I also got to mention of a excellent character take on Arthur Reeves, who was like the DA prior to Harvey Dent. It was on the payroll of Andrea's father. I had to mention that because from first moment I I almost thought it said Arthur Reed like Arthur Ardbach, and I was just like, ain't no way. Then I had to pay attention correct later on, but overall, a 5 out of 5. I must recommend for anybody who's a Bat fan. All right, y'all. I hope y'all like, subscribe, and enjoy, and I'll keep dishing them out. All right, y'all. Peace.